Okay. Call this meeting to order.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Sandy, if we could have the minutes from our organizational meeting and the January regular monthly meeting.
The Silver Lake Township Supervisors held their organizational meeting on Monday, January 6, 2014 at the Silver Lake Township building. Francis Fruhan called the meeting to order at 7 p.m. and called for a salute to the flag. New Supervisor Butch DeLucia presented his signed oath of office to be filed with the township. Francis Fruhan made a motion that Evan Everett act as temporary chairman. Butch DeLucia seconded, all approved. Butch DeLucia made a motion that Francis Fruhan serve as chairman of the Board of Supervisors. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Francis Fruhan made a motion that Evan Everett serve as vice chairman of the Board of Supervisors. Butch DeLucia seconded, all approved. Evan Everett made a motion to reappoint Sandy Rink as secretary treasurer at an annual salary of $12,000. Butch DeLucia seconded, all approved. Francis Fruhan made a motion to appoint Sandy Rink as open records officer and authorizing her to work as laborer, both at an hourly rate of $15. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Francis Fruhan made a motion that the tax collector's commission remain at 4%. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Butch DeLucia made a motion to approve the tax collector's appointing of Lois Nagy as deputy tax collector. Francis Fruhan seconded, all approved. Butch DeLucia made a motion that Evan Everett work as roadmaster. Francis Fruhan seconded, all approved. Butch DeLucia made a motion to appoint Francis Fruhan as assistant roadmaster. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Butch DeLucia made a motion authorizing Francis Fruhan to work as laborer. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Francis Fruhan made a motion authorizing Butch DeLucia to work as laborer. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Francis Fruhan made a motion to appoint Paul Litwin as township solicitor. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Francis Fruhan made a motion to make the following reappointments. Timothy Berg as police chief at an hourly rate of $17.64 for the collective bargaining agreement. Levi Tiffany and Justin Sprout as part-time police officers at an hourly rate of $13.75. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Evan Everett made a motion to appoint Francis Fruhan as police administrator. Butch DeLucia seconded, all approved. Butch DeLucia made a motion for Francis Fruhan to be primary representative for the Northern Tier Coalition. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Francis Fruhan made a motion for Evan Everett to be alternate representative for the Northern Tier Coalition. Butch DeLucia seconded, all approved. We are now ready to make an appointment for the new term for the municipal authority. Hopefully that will be done at the next month's meeting. Francis Fruhan made a motion to make the following appointments on the Silver Lake Township Planning Commission. Appoint Carol Everett to fill the seat held by Jerry Durham, who has moved out of the area. Butch DeLucia seconded, all approved. Francis Fruhan noted that current planning terms are out of sync and the terms as well as the original ordinance are not in conformance with the second-class township code.
Sandy, can you just change that to the code, whatever? Just scratch second-class township. Code, yeah. Code or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be the NPC, but leave it general.
Until the planning commission terms are reconfigured, Francis Fruhan suggested that the remaining members who have expired terms serve as holdovers until the terms can be reconfigured by resolution and or ordinance in the next month or two. Francis Fruhan made a motion to proceed as suggested, which DeLucia seconded, all approved. Francis Fruhan made a motion to reappoint Susquehanna County COG as sewage enforcement, which DeLucia seconded, all approved. Francis Fruhan made a motion to reappoint Code Inspections, Inc. as the construction permit administrator / floodplain administrator for floodplain ordinance enforcement, which DeLucia seconded, all approved. Francis Ruhan made a motion to reappoint Code Inspections, Inc. as the UCC building code enforcement. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Francis Ruhan made a motion to appoint the following persons to the Township's UCC Board of Appeals. Josh Barnes for a 1-year term, Don Conning for a 2-year term, Tim Pullman for a 3-year term, Tom Shelp for a 4-year term, and Steve Whitmore Jr. for a 5-year term. If the board convenes, 3 members will preside, with the other 2 acting as alternates. Butch DeLucia seconded, all approved. Evan Everett made a motion to appoint Francis Ruhan as Assessment Permit Officer and the UCC and Sewage Enforcement Liaison. Butch DeLucia seconded, approved. Francis Ruhan made a motion to appoint Evan Everett as an alternate Assessment Permit Officer and UCC and Sewage Enforcement Liaison. Butch DeLucia seconded, approved. Francis Ruhan made a motion to appoint Butch DeLucia as an alternate Assessment Permit Officer and UCC and Sewage Enforcement Liaison. Evan Everett seconded, approved. Butch DeLucia made a motion to reappoint Pliggett and People's Neighborhood Bank as the banks and depository for the Township for 2014. Francis Ruhan seconded, all approved. Butch DeLucia made a motion to keep the line of credit in the amount of $50,000 open with People's Neighborhood Bank. Francis Ruhan seconded, all approved. Evan Everett made a motion to reappoint Brian Gardner as chairman of the vacancy board. Francis Ruhan seconded, all approved. Butch DeLucia made a motion that the supervisor's meeting pay remain at $375 per quarter. Francis Ruhan seconded, all approved. This is already set by ordinance. Francis Ruhan made a motion for 10 paid holidays for township employees and for full-time employees with 1 to 5 years of service as a full-time employee with the township. 120 hours of paid time off, combined vacation, personal time, and sick time. And for full-time employees with 6+ years of service as a full-time employee with the township, 160 hours of paid time off, combined vacation, personal time, sick time. Butch DeLucia seconded, approved with Evan Everett abstaining. Butch DeLucia made a motion that the township auditor's rate be $10 per hour. Francis Ruhan seconded, all approved. Francis Ruhan made a motion that labor rates for township employees are as follows. Utility laborer, $16 an hour. Skilled laborer / mechanic, $16.50 an hour. Roadmaster recommended at $17 an hour. Butch DeLucia seconded, approved with Evan Everett abstaining. It should be noted that rates for supervisors as employees will be set by the auditors. Evan Everett made a motion that Silver Lake Volunteer Fire Company provide fire and emergency services to Silver Lake and Shogunette Townships, and the fire company members are hereby authorized to attend all fires, training, and mutual aid calls, and all other activities as authorized by the fire chief and officers. Butch DeLucia seconded, all approved. Evan Everett made a motion to accept the list of fire police as submitted by the fire chief. Butch DeLucia seconded, all approved. Butch DeLucia made a motion to advertise in the Susquehanna County Independent. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Francis Ruhan made a motion that the regular monthly supervisor meetings be held the first Monday of each month at 7 p.m. unless a holiday, then on the Tuesday immediately following at the Silver Lake Township building. Butch DeLucia seconded, all approved. Francis Ruhan made a motion that monthly work sessions will be held the second Monday of each month at, is it 5 or is that supposed to be 7?
That should be 7, yeah.
At 7 p.m. unless a holiday, then on the day immediately following at the Silver Lake Township building. If a work session is not going to be held, a notice will be posted on the door. Butch DeLucia seconded, all approved. Francis Ruhan made a motion that personal vehicle mileage for township business be reimbursed at the same rate as allowed by the IRS. Rate for the supervisors would have to be approved by the auditors. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Francis Ruhan made a motion to adjourn the organizational portion of the meeting. Evan Everett seconded, all approved. Francis Ruhan called the regular January meeting to order. The minutes from the December regular meeting and special budget adoption meetings were read and approved on a motion made by Evan Everett and seconded by Butch DeLucia. The treasurer's report was read and held for audit on a motion made by Evan Everett and seconded by Butch DeLucia. Public comment. John Demery asked if there would be any additional fees for the new appointments. Francis Ruhan explained the only new board creation was the UCC Board of Appeals, and they would be called as needed and serve without pay. Francis Ruhan read the police report with 19 incidents for the month of December. Evan Everett gave the road report. Working on road maintenance, anti-skid material is 3/4 used. Additional material will be purchased on an as-needed basis. Assessment permits none. Driveway permits none. Francis Ruhan made a motion to pay the bills as submitted. Evan Everett seconded. All approved. As no further business was presented, Francis Ruhan made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Evan Everett seconded. All approved.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
I'll second that. All in favor? Okay, we had a special meeting on January 27th. Do you have any notes for that?
Yep. Silver Lake Township Supervisors held a special meeting on Monday, January 27, 2014 at the Silver Lake Township Building. Francis Ruhan called the meeting to order at 7 p.m. and called for a salute to the flag. The purpose of the meeting was to fill the vacancy on the Silver Lake Township Municipal Authority Board. Julie Dantini's term expired on 12/31/13 and she did not wish to be reappointed. The term is 5 years, which DeLucia made a motion to appoint Richard Holgash Jr. to the municipal board. Francis Ruhan seconded. All approved. As there was no further business, Francis Ruhan adjourned the meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
Second. Okay, all in favor? All right. You ready? Okay, treasurer's report.
Okay. General fund, Sandra Rink, 445 even, Seth Everett, 999.53, Chris Short, 723.65, Timothy Berg, 712.57, Evan Everett, 334.80, Evan Everett, 1,009.21, Francis Fruhan, 334.80, Justin Sprout, $84.33. Levi Tiffany, 132.53, Francis Ruhan, 199.82, Han Welding, 196.93, Jim Chambers, 165.52, Little and Nelson, 78 even, P. Stats Dues, 555 even, Talmadge Tire, 85 even, Williams Oil and Propane, 858.03, DGK Insurance, 8,536.24, Anthony Litwin, 300 even, Chase Card Services, 766.52, Moravido Fuel Group, 1,507.94, Talmadge Tire, 230 even, John Nagy, 231.81. Started with a balance of $220,549.80, no receipts, disbursements at $19,040.46, leaving a balance of $201,509.34. State funds, Bradco Supply, $850.70, Shenango Supply, $28.40, Cook Brothers, $48.22, Fleet Fry, $358.58, Williams Oil and Propane, $3,235.46, started with a balance of $102,682.51, receipts at $1.17, disbursements at $5,859.79, leaving a balance of $96,823.89. Police fund, AT&T, $42.01. Then it's auto repair, $1,228.84. Dan's, $417.13. Oregon Kluger and Quinn, $197.05. Montrose Auto Parts, $22.67. Silver Lake General Fund, $1,628.46. Star Uniform, $329.93. Chase Card Services, $115.15. John Nagy, $148.52. Started with a balance of $59,955.03. No receipts. Disbursements, $3,566.81, leaving a balance of $56,388.22. Building Fund, People's National Bank, $4,000 even. John Nagy Tax Collector, $26.53. Started with a balance of $19,554.03. No receipts. Disbursements at $4,026.53, leaving a balance of $15,600.79. Fire Fund, John Nagy, $66.30, started with a balance of $76.30. No receipts, disbursements at $66.30, leaving a balance of $10. And Equipment Fund, John Nagy, $86.19, started with a balance of $24,584.75. Receipts at $86.19. Disbursements at $86.19, leaving a balance of $24,522.61. That's it.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasury report as read.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
You get any Act 14 notices this month? So no Act 14 notices this month regarding new well pads, new driveway accesses for well pads or things like that. Okay. Public comment? No?
I'm curious why, after I, a couple of meetings ago, suggested that there were 2 people from Quaker Lake interested in being appointed to the sewer commission to give that lake some representation. You chose to appoint someone from Laurel Lake that already had representation on the sewer commission.
Yep. I considered what you said when making my decision.
But I still don't understand why you would exclude any representation from Quaker Lake.
No, I'm not looking to exclude anybody.
But by that action you did. There's no one on that commission who is a resident of Quaker Lake unless I'm missing someone.
No, no, as far as I know, there's not.
And I'm asking you why.
I can only speak for myself. I voted for the person that I thought should be on the committee at this time.
That's not really an answer.
Well, that's the answer I'm gonna give you.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, John?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
I know a person who personally has a well pad on their property. And recently, within the last several weeks, the mailbox has been blown up. And I'm wondering if there's been investigation or if there's some relationship between anti-fracking and the situation.
I don't know anything about it. I'm curious, was it a residential mailbox? Or
Yes.
was it a mailbox, it was the landowner's mailbox?
It was, the mailbox was in front of the residence, and of course the well pad is probably a half a mile from the residence. There's the entrance to it.
Yeah,
In our township.
Yes.
Don't have any.
I haven't heard of that either.
I'd like to know what well pad it is that you're talking about.
Do you know? Or if you want to.
I have no interest in divulging it,
gotcha.
but I'm saying that with what we know is going on in the county, there's a lot of bias or bigotry about well pads.
Anybody else? So we don't have any information to share.
I have a quick question. In the previous meeting, certain pay scales were to be determined by the auditors for various jobs in the township. Have any of those been determined by the auditors? And if so, what are they?
It'd be the.
Roadmaster was approved as recommended at
Right.
17.
And then the supervisor's pay. They're the only two that are set by the auditors.
Any other position besides Evans is roadmaster for supervisors working as employees, such as labor or something like that, would be 15 an hour.
And is that something that was established by,
The auditor set that. The auditor set
so So 15 an hour for anybody that does anything other than those defined.
Then the roadmaster, it could be like laborer, it could be cleaning the
Well, you had
building.
labor and you had mechanic and so forth all spelled out.
But
Yeah,
the
these-
mechanics had nothing to do with it. It's only the supervisors, anything that does with
Yeah,
us.
that we're authorized to work. I mean, I'm not a
So
mechanic,
if
so I.
If Butch or Francis either work as, you know, if we had a flood event and either of them had to work, they're gonna make $15 an hour, and the auditor said it.
So that 15 just pertains to the supervisors?
Correct.
Okay. We, you know, there were a couple things, well, the auditors determined this, but we never heard what they determined. I was just
Okay, well, we can
curious.
get it in the minutes, just so it's on the record, that, I would say, roadmaster, Evan Everett as roadmaster was approved at 17 an hour, and supervisors for, I guess, work as employees of the township, other than his roadmaster, was approved at $15 an hour. You know, we have it in the minutes and it's documented.
Thank you.
And what is the rate for the supervisors? I didn't hear any rate.
Like supervisors, I mean, that's set by, when we have an ordinance,
Hmm.
the township code actually sets a rate. I don't think it's changed since the 80s.
So what is it actually? What
It's
is your,
$375 a quarter.
for the supervisors?
Correct. And then if they work hourly on top of that, you know, that's what it is.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. New business. Planning Commission, we did get a signed resolution, not a signed resignation letter
Right.
from Brian.
Correct.
And I think he drafted it right there at the planning meeting.
Yes.
You saw the copy, I didn't read it. We know we got a copy for our
Yes.
file. So, we have a resignation, for Brian Young. He's been a member of the Planning Commission for a number of years. And, I guess, I'll make a motion to accept his resignation.
Second it.
Okay, any questions on that?
Do they pay the people on the planning commission? Is there any pay scale for them, or is that
It's,
volunteer?
It's like 25 a meeting if you show up, and by, like, second-class township code says supervisors can't get paid. So I'm a supervisor, everybody but me gets 25 bucks.
So how are you going to replace it? How do you get another member? Do people come forward if they're interested, or?
No, people have, and anybody's welcome to express an interest in any of the supervisors. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Okay. You have your auctions international?
Yeah, we're looking to put a couple small items out to bid on Auctions International. We have it's a 45,000 pound winch that we had taken off a truck, and we're gonna be putting that on, and also a set of lights that we're no longer using, and a steel chainsaw. It's a pole saw. We're gonna see what we can get for them, and so I guess see what the bids come in at. Any questions?
So what are the items?
A light bar,
Light,
pole saw.
was that off one of the trucks?
No, it's a handheld trimming saw.
Oh, the light bulb.
No, the light bar's off the truck.
Okay.
Pole saw is separate. And then a winch goes on the back. Came off the truck we made into a plow truck, which it's no longer used for that anymore. So,
You want to make a motion to put them on?
I'll make a motion to put them on.
Okay. Okay, any questions about what we're,
That saw, is that the one we've had the
Yeah.
township for many,
Yeah.
many, many years?
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
try to, if we can get a decent amount for it, we're gonna try to upgrade it and get a newer one that has a little more reach. mean, we use it a lot, it isn't the handiest anymore, but yes, it is. They've had it a long time, I guess. Was it here when you were in?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. You have a new business you can think of? All right. Police report, there are 17 reportable incidents for the month of January. Road report?
I have a question about the police report. I'd like to know how many burglaries in that report.
Don't know.
And can I have a copy of the report?
It'll be in the paper when it's done. It's not done yet.
It's not done
It takes
yet?
about a week, probably after the meeting, and then it goes to the paper and website.
For the road report, we've got our chipping stuff ready. We're doing some limb removal and stuff on some of the roads, just some of our problem areas. And along with our winter maintenance, we've been, as I said last month, we've been purchasing anti-skid as, we use it and, hoping for an early spring. We're gonna be looking, just kind of to bring it up, to put new tires on our motor grader. And I've got some prices on them. They aren't cheap. We have one brand new spare tire, and we're looking to purchase 5 more. They're gonna be about $890 a tire. But that's just something that's kind of coming up that's a big expense. It's in the budget, but something I don't want to do, but it's gotta be done. Any questions?
How many tires do you have to buy?
4. We had, when we bought the tires that are on the grader now, we bought 1 spare. So we have a brand new spare, we're matching up, the other 5 to that one, and that'll get us our set of 6.
So you're buying 4 or 5?
5. We have 5 and we have 1 now.
Okay.
Any other
Yeah,
questions?
they're not exactly 15-inch tires.
They're 1,424s. If you went to, I've got prices, they're a Michelin tire, and I've got prices kind of all over. If one of the public, somebody in the public wanted to buy them, they're $1,370 a tire. Under state contract, they're $890 and change.
Yeah, that sounds like a good price for that much tire.
It's not. I don't want to spend it,
Well,
but it's
no, it's not
something.
what I mean. It's not like it's
Right. It's a
chicken.
lot. It's a lot better than the alternative, I guess.
Yeah.
So, Tom?
Does that price come with the installation?
No. We're gonna do it. We'll probably do it ourselves. And yeah. No, that's just the price on the tire. But it's a lot better than if we were to have to, buy them outright with the state pricing that help, around 400, between $450 and $500 a tire with exact numbers. So, any other questions? Okay.
No assessment permits this month? Driveway permits? No driveway permits. Anything we're missing? I gotta take a look. All right. Okay, I make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Stop.
Yeah. Roughly.
Good to see you again.
A brand new Husqvarna is a little cheaper.
I thought you were asking a lot of money for it. I didn't,
If
not
you,
cheap, but that's not.
I mean, if you bend the holes, there's one holes, unless you bend the half green, so it's solid.